Money talks. Numbers count. But did you know that across the world, certain numbers hold special powers when it comes to bringing wealth and good luck? From the busy streets of New York to the ancient temples of Asia, people have always believed that some numbers carry magic, the kind that fills wallets and brings success. Think about it. When was the last time you made a wish at 11:11? Or felt a spark of hope seeing 3 sevens in a row? You're not alone. For thousands of years, people everywhere have seen patterns in numbers that seem to promise riches and better days ahead. Today's story is about 5 special numbers that have made their mark on how we think about money and success. These aren't just any numbers. They're the ones you'll find carved into palace walls, painted on shop doors, and carefully chosen for lucky business addresses. Some people have won fortunes following them. Others have built entire buildings around them. What makes these 5 numbers so powerful? Why do millions of people still trust them to bring good fortune? The answers hide in colorful tales of emperors and merchants, in old beliefs that have somehow survived into our modern world. From a single digit that launched 1,000-year traditions to a number sequence that's said to mirror the patterns of nature itself. These are the numbers that have shaped how people chase their dreams of wealth. Are they truly magical? Maybe not. But their stories will change how you see the numbers around you forever. Have you ever wondered why some buildings in China skip the 4th floor but have lots of 8th floors? It all comes down to the number 8, which many Chinese people see as the most fortunate number of all. The reason is simple, but fascinating. In Chinese, when you say the number 8, B-A, it sounds almost the same as the word for becoming rich or prosperous, fei. This small detail has made the number 8 incredibly important in Chinese culture. The story of 8's rise to fame starts way back in the Tang Dynasty, over 1,000 years ago. Chinese merchants were the first to notice how customers liked prices that included the number 8. Soon, they started pricing their best items at 88 or 888 units of money. They believed these prices would bring good luck to both the seller and the buyer. This clever marketing trick worked so well that it's still used today. But the power of 8 goes far beyond just setting prices. In modern China, this belief has grown bigger than ever. Take the 2008 Beijing Olympics, for example. The Chinese government chose to start the opening ceremony at exactly 8:08 p.m. on August 8, 2008. That's a lot of 8s. They picked this time because they wanted their Olympics to be super successful. And what better way than to use the luckiest number as many times as possible? The love for the number 8 has changed how buildings look in China and other Asian countries. If you visit Hong Kong, you can't miss the Bank of China Tower. Its whole design is based on triangles that create the shape of an octagon, a shape with 8 sides. The builders chose this design hoping it would bring financial success to everyone doing business there. Here's something that might surprise you. In China, people spend huge amounts of money just to get phone numbers with lots of 8s in them. A phone number with several 8s can cost thousands of dollars. Some business owners believe having an 8-heavy phone number will bring them more customers and better luck. This belief is so strong that it affects real estate too. Apartments on the 8th floor or with the number 8 in their address often cost more than similar apartments with different numbers. In big cities with lots of Chinese residents, some buildings have multiple 8th floors. They might label them 8, 8A, 8B, and so on. Even better if the building number is 88 or 888. What's really interesting is how this ancient belief has spread around the world. In cities with large Chinese communities, from Vancouver to Sydney, real estate agents know all about the power of 8. They often price houses with 8s to attract Chinese buyers. And some construction companies even plan their building launches for dates with the number 8. Next time you see the number 8 in an Asian restaurant's phone number or on a shop's price tag, you'll know why it's there. It's not just a number, it's a symbol of hope for good fortune that's been trusted for over 1,000 years. The number 7 has been important to people for thousands of years. In many religions, including Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, 7 stands for something complete and perfect. When these religions talk about wealth and good times, they often mention the number 7. This connection to 7 started a very long time ago in Mesopotamia, which is now called Iraq. The people there looked at the sky and saw 7 bright objects: the sun, moon, and 5 planets they could see without telescopes. They thought these 7 lights in the sky were special and powerful. They believed that understanding these 7 objects could help them know when to plant crops and when good fortune would come. The old stories from these religions often use 7 to talk about wealth. In the Bible, there's a story about 7 years when crops grew very well, followed by 7 years when nothing would grow. This taught people to save money and food during good times. The 7-branched gold candlestick in the ancient temple was also made of pure gold, showing how 7 and wealth went together. Today, we still see 7 connected to money and luck everywhere. In Las Vegas, slot machines use 777s as their biggest prize symbol. When all 3 7s line up, players win the jackpot. This isn't random. Casino owners knew that people already thought 7 was lucky, so they used it in their games. In the business world, one of Japan's biggest companies is called 7 & I Holdings. You might know their most famous store, 7-Eleven. When they picked this name, they knew that 7 would catch people's attention because many cultures think it's a good number. There's also an interesting story about the 7 Sisters oil companies. These were 7 big oil companies that controlled most of the world's oil business from the 1940s to the 1970s. People called them the 7 Sisters because they were so powerful together. Just like the 7 stars in the sky that the Mesopotamians watched, 7 shows up in many other places where money is important. The G7 is a group of 7 countries that are some of the richest in the world. They meet to talk about money and business. Many banks and companies use 7 in their names or their building designs. Some office buildings have 7 floors or 7 sections because the owners think it will bring good business. Even in everyday life, we use 7 a lot with money. Many financial advisors talk about the rule of 72. If you want to know how long it will take your money to double, you can divide 72 by your interest rate. This rule works because it's close to 7 times 10, and people find it easy to remember because 7 is a number they trust. Some investors even plan their business cycles in 7-year periods. They remember the Bible story about 7 good years and 7 bad years, and they think this pattern might help them know when to buy or sell things. But it's important to know that 7 isn't actually magic. It won't make you rich just because you use it. People have just noticed it so much in history and religion that they started seeing it everywhere. Real wealth comes from working hard, being smart with money, and making good choices. The number 9 holds special meaning across Asia, but it's particularly important in Japan and China. In Japanese culture, 9 stands for something everyone wants: a long and full life. The Japanese see this number as a sign of completeness, almost like reaching the highest point you can reach. Think back to ancient China, where 9 wasn't just any number. It belonged to the emperor himself. Chinese emperors wore robes with 9 dragons on them, showing everyone their power and wealth. Only the emperor could use 9 dragons in his decorations. If anyone else tried to use 9 dragons, they would be in big trouble. This made 9 a super special number that meant you were as powerful as you could possibly be. This old tradition shows up in amazing buildings called 9 dragon walls. These are huge walls covered with beautiful dragon designs, and you can still see them today in old Chinese palaces and gardens. The most famous one is in Beijing, where 9 massive dragons seem to dance across the wall, each one painted in bright colors. These walls weren't just pretty, they were meant to show how powerful the emperor was. The number 9's special meaning hasn't gone away. In Japan today, when people give important gifts, they often choose amounts of money that have to do with 9. A popular gift amount is 9,999 yen. People think this amount brings good luck because it uses so many 9s. The number 9 in Japanese can also sound like the word for suffering, so using 4 9s together is seen as a way to cancel out any bad luck and make sure the gift brings only good things. Here's something interesting about the number 9 in modern times. When people lease property, they often use something called a 99-year lease. This tradition started because 99 years seemed like such a long time that it might as well be forever. Even today, many countries still use 99-year leases for important properties. It's like saying, this agreement will last for generations. The power of 9 shows up in business too. Some companies price their products at $99 or $999, not just because it looks cheaper than $100 or $1,000, but because in some Asian markets, these prices are thought to bring good fortune. Hotels and office buildings in Asia often have special 9th floors or use the number 9 in their addresses to attract success. Even in modern architecture, you can see the influence of 9. Some new buildings in China include 9 elements in their design, following the old imperial tradition. These might be 9 floors, 9 sections, or 9 decorative elements. Building designers know that many people still see 9 as a number that brings good fortune and success. The story of 9 shows how an ancient symbol of power has changed over time, but hasn't lost its special meaning. From emperor's robes to modern gift-giving, this number continues to represent the best things people hope for: long life, complete success, and lasting good fortune. The number 40 might seem ordinary at first, but in Middle Eastern cultures, it's a powerful symbol of having plenty and getting everything you want. This special meaning goes back thousands of years, appearing again and again in old stories about good times and success. One of the most famous stories about 40 comes from the Middle East, Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. In this tale, Ali Baba finds a magical cave filled with amazing treasures that belong to 40 thieves. The story made the number 40 famous all around the world, connecting it with finding unexpected riches and good fortune. Even today, people remember the magic words, "Open Sesame," and the cave of treasures that changed Ali Baba's life forever. In Turkey, people celebrate something called Kirk ceremonies. Kirk means 40 in Turkish, and these special parties happen when someone reaches an important point in their life or business. Families throw these celebrations to mark good times and share their success with others. It's their way of saying thank you for their good fortune and hoping it continues. During these ceremonies, people often give gifts in sets of 40, believing this will bring more success to both the giver and receiver. The number 40 shows up many times in religious stories from this part of the world. These stories often talk about 40 days or 40 years of good times, when people had everything they needed and more. This made people start thinking of 40 as a special number that means something good is finished, and something even better is about to start. This old belief about 40 bringing success has found its way into our modern world, too. Today, many business magazines and websites make lists called 40 Under 40. These lists celebrate young business people who have become very successful before turning 40 years old. Being named on one of these lists is a big honor. It means you're doing really well and might become even more successful in the future. Some companies have started using the number 40 in clever ways for their business. You might see special sales that last 40 days, or rewards programs that give bonuses after 40 purchases. Business owners choose this number because they know its long history of meaning success and completion. In many Middle Eastern countries, the number 40 still plays a big part in celebrations and business deals. When people open new stores or start new companies, they might plan their opening for a day that has something to do with 40. Some people even wait 40 days before making big business decisions, believing this will bring them better results. This special meaning of 40 has spread beyond the Middle East. Now, people all over the world use it as a marker for reaching important goals. Whether it's spending 40 days working on a project, saving money for 40 weeks, or setting 40 different business goals, this number has become a popular way to measure progress toward success. The number 108 might seem random to many people, but in Hindu and Buddhist traditions, it's one of the most important numbers you can find. This special number isn't just about money. It's about being rich in all ways, including having peace in your mind and happiness in your heart. Long ago in India, wise people who studied the stars and mathematics found something amazing about 108. They noticed this number kept showing up in their calculations about the sun, moon, and earth. They saw it in the distance between the earth and the sun. The sun is about 108 times the size of Earth, and in many other patterns in nature. This made them think 108 must be special. These discoveries made 108 very important in both Hindu and Buddhist beliefs. People started using strings of 108 beads, called mala beads, when they prayed or meditated. Today, business people in many Asian countries still carry these prayer beads to important meetings. They believe touching these beads brings good luck and helps them make smart choices about money and business. In modern Asia, this ancient number has found its way into the business world in big ways, literally. Some of the tallest buildings in Asian financial districts are exactly 108 stories high. The builders chose this height on purpose, hoping the sacred number would bring success to all the businesses inside. When you look at these skyscrapers touching the sky, you're seeing an ancient belief turned into modern architecture. Many companies in Asia have found clever ways to use 108 in their businesses. Some put it in their company logos, thinking it will bring good fortune. Others price their most special products at $108 or $1,080 or even $10,800. Restaurant owners might put 108 items on their menus, and hotels might have 108 rooms. These business owners believe using this special number will help their companies grow and succeed. The number 108 shows up in surprising places in modern life. Some Asian shopping malls have exactly 108 stores. Business conferences might schedule their most important talks at 108 or make their events last 108 minutes. Even some Asian phone companies sell special phone numbers with 108 in them. And people pay extra for these numbers because they think they'll bring good luck. What's really interesting is how this number connects old spiritual ideas with modern business practices. In ancient times, people thought 108 would help them find inner peace and understanding. Now, business people still believe in its power, but they're hoping it will help them find success in today's busy world. The story of 108 teaches us something important. Even in our modern world of computers and skyscrapers, people still hold on to ancient beliefs about numbers bringing good fortune. Whether it's a huge building stretching into the sky or a simple string of prayer beads in a business person's pocket, 108 continues to be a number that people trust to bring them all kinds of wealth. It's amazing how a simple number can mean so much to so many people. We've seen how the number 8 makes Chinese business owners smile, how 9 brings hopes of a long life in Japan, how 40 marks special moments in the Middle East, and how 108 touches both ancient wisdom and modern skyscrapers. These numbers do more than just count things. They tell stories about what people hope for. When a Chinese family pays extra for an apartment on the 8th floor, or when a Japanese person carefully counts out 9,999 yen for a gift, they're following traditions that go back hundreds or even thousands of years. In today's world of computers and smartphones, you might think old beliefs about lucky numbers would disappear. But look around. They're everywhere. They're in the heights of buildings, the prices in stores, the numbers people choose for their phones, and even the dates people pick for important business deals. Maybe these numbers really do bring good luck. Maybe they don't. But they show us something important about people everywhere. We all want to believe in a little bit of magic, even in our modern world. Whether it's an ancient emperor counting to 9, Ali Baba saying "Open Sesame" to his cave of 40 thieves, or a modern business person holding 108 prayer beads before a big meeting, these special numbers give people hope and confidence. Next time you see someone paying attention to a particular number, remember, you're watching history come alive. You're seeing how ancient beliefs about luck and success are still part of our world today, connecting people across time and across cultures in their search for prosperity and good fortune.